When you get to the airport for your flight, there can be airline jargon and airport terminology that may be confusing to you. If you've never flown before, you may not understand what all the terminology means in an airport. It is okay to not know all of the definitions. I will list a glossary of airline terms for your first airport experience. We have flown this summer on United Airlines, Southwest Airlines, and American Airlines, and they all have different terminology for their boarding processes and parts of inside the airplane. So even for frequent flyers like ourselves, it can be confusing still. If you're visiting the United States for the first time, this list of airport terminology is going to help you know how to get around in the airplane and in the airport for your airline. One travel term is carry-on luggage. A carry-on bag and a personal item are allowed on most U.S. major airlines. Carry-on is defined as a small suitcase that meets certain requirements for dimensions, a large backpack, or even a small duffel bag. Each airline does have their luggage requirements for carry-on suitcases as well as personal items. If you're unsure, just Google your airline and luggage requirements and you'll find them. A personal item is a bag that fits underneath the airplane seat in front of you. This item has your essentials in it, like your medicine, your wallet, your ID. If you have a large suitcase that is over 22 inches in length, then that bag needs to be checked. And that's going to happen right when you get to the airport. You will usually see a sign that says ticketing or check-in. Usually airlines have their employees walking around in front of that counter for the ticketing or checking in, and they'll be able to help you. And you're going to need that confirmation number that you got emailed when you bought your ticket. One travel tip is to not be embarrassed. Tell the employee you're talking to that you do not understand, or if you've never flown before, just say that and then ask for help. Another airport term is check-in. Once you buy your ticket on your airline, you are going to receive an email. That email has the confirmation number that you are going to need to check in, and you can only check in 24 hours or less before your departure time. You can check in online on the airline's site or on the airline's app. And I will share something new about airline apps at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Another airport term is concourse or terminal. They basically are hallways that you're going to walk down to get to your airplane. In some airports, like this one in Houston, they are so large that they have security checkpoints in certain terminals or concourses. So before you leave your house, you're going to know that, oh, my flight's going to be in terminal or concourse B, and that means you need to be dropped off at the B security checkpoint. Different airports in different states have different names for those hallways that you walk down. The airport in Denver calls them concourses, and here in Houston, we call them terminals. Once you check in for a flight, you're going to get a pass that you have to show the TSA officers in order to go through the airport screening. I take a screenshot of my pass on my phone because when I go through airport security, for some reason, I feel like I'm in a rush, and so it's easier for me to go to my photos on my phone rather than looking for my app and looking for my pass and all that kind of stuff. Your airline website or when you buy the ticket will tell you what size luggage you are allowed on that seat. Spend 5 minutes Googling your airline and luggage requirements so that you are not caught off guard and you know what you can take through the airport security and onto the airplane without being charged. When you go on vacation, you want every part of it to be like a vacation, so know before you go. The TSA is the Transportation Security Administration, and their officers screen your items just to make sure there are no threats to aviation or other passengers. You have to take out items so that they can be screened. You also have to pack food and liquids in a certain way. I have a video where I walk you through step by step the TSA line and what you need to take out and how it needs to be packed with the new rules as of this summer. There are new rules for food, for your wallet, for your belt, and I will link those videos below. If you have some weird object that you want to take through airport security, you can go to tsa.gov and click what can I bring? It's in the upper right corner, or you can send them a question on Facebook Messenger. Not Facebook, but Facebook Messenger, and it's Ask TSA, and they will respond to your question. You can also go to Twitter at Ask TSA, one word, or you can call them on the number on their website. If you found this video helpful, just click on subscribe and the little bell and you will never miss a video. I'm a pilot wife here in Houston, and I YouTube travel tips to help you travel the globe without a worry in the world. So say hi if we haven't met yet. I'm also on Instagram as Travel Tips by Laurie. Once you get organized after airport security, walk down the terminal or concourse to your gate. Gate is the door number where your airplane is parked at. It has the number above the door that you are supposed to walk through. And the little hallway from the gate to the airplane is called a jet bridge. On your ticket or boarding pass, you are going to see what time the flight departs and then what time it boards. A lot of major airlines will board flights 30 minutes before your departure time. So if you need to go shopping or get something to eat, make sure you are in line at the gate door 30 minutes prior to the departure time. One of the main reasons that people miss their flight is because they were not in line at that gate in time. And some major airlines will close their doors to that jet bridge 10 to 20 minutes before the flight is supposed to depart. So make sure you look at the board's time on your pass. Airport terminology is also different in how airlines board people onto the plane. When you are at your gate and fixing to get in line, you have to line up in a certain organized way. And before COVID, you would look on your pass and see what your boarding group was called. If you're flying on United Airlines, that would be like a number. Your boarding area is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're on Delta Airlines, you're going to board by a creative name. Your group name is Sky Priority, and that's in this row. Your boarding area may be called Delta Comfort, and you're going to be in this line. All of the airlines have different names for their boarding lines. Be sure to read your ticket or ask an employee. Standard protocol at the gate where your airplane is parked is to not walk right up to the gate agent's counter. You want to stand a few feet in front of that gate or that counter and wait for that employee to make eye contact with you and then say, "How may I help you?" You don't just walk right up to the countertop because they cannot help you at certain times. There are certain things they have to be doing. So you wait for them to look at you and ask if you need help. A layover just means that you are going to stop over at a different airport before you get to your final destination. And your layover time could be 50 minutes or it could be 6 hours now. But don't forget to check the boarding time on your pass. Most of the times, if you're going to have a connection or another flight to your final destination, you're going to have to change planes. So read and listen to where your flight's going to be leaving from if you're at a new airport, and then make sure you're there 30 minutes before the flight departs. And that term would be called connection. That just means you're connecting on a different airplane in another airport before your final destination. Also, if you buy an airplane ticket on a discount site, just know that if there is any weather or any kind of delay, you do not have all that many rights. So I recommend buying your airplane tickets through the direct airline. I know some of them will allow you to purchase flight insurance or something like that, but I just would not trust it because the airline employees they can't look that up. Another terminology in the airports is gate checked, and that means once you get to the gate, now the overhead bins above people's airplane seats are full, basically because of winter coats or people bringing back packages around a holiday. So they may have to gate check it, and if that's the case, the airplane or the airline would pay for that. You don't have to pay for that. But like I always say, always carry all of your medicines in your personal bag because you never know when that other suitcase or carry-on may get gate checked. When you are at your gate, you're going to have to scan your pass just like you did in security, and you're going to have to scan it on the gate reader or a scanner. Something new for 2020 is a lot of airlines are going to only using your airline app to scan your ticket or to show you what seat you're going to have on the airplane. They do not want to touch it because of the transmissibility of COVID-19. So they are asking you when you get to your gate to refresh your app, and that will tell you your seat, especially if you haven't been assigned one yet. Another airplane jargon word is ground stop. And that means if there's weather at another airport that is slowing down the traffic and making everybody slow down, then they may have your plane pull over while it is driving to the runway. And that's another term, is driving to the runway. When the airplane is taxiing or going to taxi to the runway, that just means driving. Airlines get charged thousands of dollars if a passenger is carrying off more than 2 bags, like that personal item and the suitcase. So if you have a crossbody bag or purse or handbag, make sure that that fits in your personal item when you are getting on the plane and when you're getting off the plane. And a lot of TSA officers will make you put it in the personal item as well. If you are new to my Travel Tips channel, I have a playlist for you. Just click new here on Travel Tips by Laurie. I do have a video telling you the new TSA rules for 2020, so be sure to check that out in the description box. Thank you for your time. Live life to the fullest and travel with a mask on if they make you wear a mask, and don't put up a fight. Just let us travel again. Thanks for your time. They get charged, airlines get charged thousands.
En el aeropuerto Pública Continental, algunos individuos y organizaciones se han...
Your air transportation safety.
If you find this video helpful, click on subscribe.